Hey sewing friends. So last week and last weekend I made what I thought would be two of the easier patterns that are part of my 8-piece kind of fall module that I'm making. And if you're not familiar with that, in the description I'll link the video where I talk about 8 patterns that I'm making for this fall kind of wardrobe module that I'm working on. And so an update on the trousers. I'm still working on the toile of the trousers, but that just is a little bit more work than I realized. So I'll have an update on that and more pattern adjustments and explanations on the fitting, probably on my Friday video. But I thought, hey, let's knock out some of the easy ones. So I thought I would make the McCall's 8240 and the Cashmir Club Avalo camisole, or cami. But I gotta say, I think I'm 0 for 2 on those. Oh my gosh. So here is my McCall's sweater, the 8240. Overall, it's not that bad. I think that it is definitely wearable. And the thought behind all this is that I want to toile the new patterns out of, muslin, and then do some wearable toiles out of the fabric I have in my stash. And once I perfect the fit, then I want to go and buy fabric for all 8 pieces that kind of, look cohesive with one another. I don't want them matchy-matchy, but I do want them to be cohesive, and that way I'll have this little great fall module. That's the thought behind it. So anyhow, I went ahead and used some sweater knit that I had in my stash. And I think, this is fine. I see myself wearing this and it's very cozy and it's very comfortable. But I think this is just a little bit drapey and a little bit thin as opposed to what I had in my mind. And if you look at the model here, you can see that her sweater looks like it has a little bit more it's more substantive. It's definitely, has more heft to it than my sweater knit. So I think I want to try it again and work on a couple fitting issues, mainly with the sleeves and the shoulders, because, I don't know if you can see, but, okay, the size comes like, small, medium, large, extra large. So I made a size large, which is a 16-18, okay? And I did make some adjustments, but right off the bat, my shoulder seams are a good, probably inch and a half off my shoulder. So I think I want to adjust that, because when you look at her shoulder seams, well, yeah, they're pretty much close. They might be slightly off, but mine are really kind of falling down. So I think I want to bring the shoulder seam up. Although the pattern piece, the shoulder is really wide. Who has shoulders, from their neck to their shoulder that wide? So I think I want to raise the shoulders. Probably want to lengthen the sleeves a little bit. And one thing that I'm definitely going to do, and I had thought about this. I remember I was thinking about this for years. And it was Jenny, I think, from Jenny Sews. I'm pretty sure that's the channel. If not, I will link her channel in the description, who had actually said out loud what I was thinking. And she was saying one thing that she thought really looked homemade as far as clothes, not handmade, but homemade, was that a lot of the sleeves on the knits that we wear are really big as opposed to ready to wear. And I always thought that too. It's like they have these really wide sleeves, you want something a little bit, I think, more fitted at the wrist. And she had said she had started to grade in at the wrist, or, when on the makes that she has that have long sleeves. Because really, when you think about it, does that just look homemade, or does that look just chintzy? So I think I need to definitely lengthen my sleeve and then do something about the wrist, and then do something about the shoulder seams. So once I get some more fabric, this is actually fabric that I'm gonna have to go buy in order to make a toile again, something a little heavier, because I don't have anything in my stash that I can toile this out of. But overall, I will wear this. It is comfortable. I think it looks fine. It's just not the end product that I see in my mind and that I know I'm capable of making. The second pattern that I made was the Cashmir Club Avalo Camisole. And here it is. I made this out of a 100% viscose in ivory colorway from Lady McElroy. And when I first put it on, I thought, oh, I love this. This is perfect. This is great. But the more I wore it, and the more I looked at it, I realized that it is not a great fit. And believe it or not, I had to really work just to get this fit. I'm not quite understanding it. I think I might know the issue, but I had made it in a size 14 and graded to a 16 at the waist and the hips. And I used an EF cup, which is what I generally make when I make cashmere patterns. Although I must say, it's the knits. I have 2 or 3 dress patterns that I make regularly from cashmere, and I've been using the EF cup. So I first made, as I said, a 14 graded to a 16 at the waist and hip, and it was really tight across the back. I mean, really tight. Like I didn't even think I could reach, and since it was just a toile, I didn't even make the lining. So I thought, oh my goodness, you know, I'm not even going to be able to get a lining in there. So I thought, let's just make a size 16. Forget the 14 and grade to the 16. Let's make a straight 16. Well, that was way too big. I mean, it was just falling off my arms. It was super, super big. So I thought, okay, let's go back. Started it, and let me show you the pattern piece, what I ended up doing. So they have 2, I guess, straps. You know, I'm using the wide straps. I started at 14, go to a 14, and I graded to a 16 at the bust dart. The first one that was really tight, I used a 14 bust dart. This one I graded to a 16 for the bust dart, and I lowered the bust dart by 1 inch. I also added 1 inch in the length, and then I went ahead and just used a straight size 16 down. It was definitely the best fit out of all of them, but as you can see, I still think it's just a little bit too big here. And I think what the issue is that I need to make it, I'm going to try it in the CD cup size. I'm thinking, since, I don't know, I'm going to give that a go. And if that doesn't work, then I'm just going to ditch it and go on over to the True Bias Ogden Cami, because I have that pattern as well. But I was so excited about this when I first saw it. I thought, oh, it looks so good, and I did such a good job on it with the understitching, and, you know, I really took my time. I did have a fun time sewing it. And eventually, when I'm getting ready to buy fabric, my goal is to make this, or my plan is to make this out of a nice silk charmeuse in a solid and a print. And I didn't have any silk charmeuse in my stash, but I did have this Georgette that I had for over, gosh, maybe 10 years or something, and it was just like a yard of fabric. I think I had bought it at some discount place or something, and I never knew what to do with it because it wasn't enough fabric to really make a blouse or a shirt, and it was so sheer. But it was enough to make a camisole, the Avalo Cami. So I thought, oh, you know, I'm going to go ahead and make it. I finally have a use to make this fabric, and it's actually very pretty fabric. Let me show you. Here it is. It's kind of this abstract, colorful print, and it does lend itself more towards spring and summer than it does fall. But again, the goal was to try and work with silk so that when I get to the charmeuse that I plan on buying, I'll be able to work with it. And I have to say, yeah, it is a little bit more difficult working with silk, and you can see some of the, I'll show you some of the issues that I had. But anywho, let me go ahead and put this on and show you, show you the fit on this. Okay, such a disappointment. I love this fabric, and I think that I can fix this, but again, you can see that I just feel like it's just not fitting. It's just not fitting really well here, and there's a little bit of gape here. I think what that is from is me stretching the fabric when I was trying to sew it. I think it's definitely something that I can wear, especially because I don't plan on wearing it just as itself. It's going to be underneath a cardigan or underneath a jacket or a blazer. What does kind of excite me about it is I have this other bright fabric, and this Again, I don't know why I bought it. I think I was channeling my inner Jane, and Jane is in our sewing circle, our Zoom sewing circle, and she loves pink. So I bought this pink wool from Britex Fabrics to make a skirt, and I think that it goes very well with this camisole. I don't know, what do you think? So you'll have to use your imagination because I'm just holding up a piece of fabric. But I think I can make a skirt that actually will work with this. I'm just a bit disappointed that this is just not hanging right. But I do have confidence that I could probably unpick it if I want to take the time and make some adjustments and get a better fit from it. Okay, so did I say I was 0 for 2? Well, I'm actually 0 for 3 because the fabric that I ordered for my frocktails dress came, and it is bright. It is bright. Let me show you what it is. I'll give you a little background. So there's this plant that it's ubiquitous in the neighborhood. You probably have some in your yard, or if not, you've probably seen it. I'll put a picture up here. I see this all the time. You know, I never give it a thought. In fact, if I were to give it a thought, I probably would think, oh, it's not that attractive of a plant. But one evening I was walking my dog, and I'm walking past this plant, and something clicked inside me, and I thought, that's it. That is the inspiration for my frocktails dress. That is what I want to do. And I wanted to make a dress using tulle. And I thought green tulle with some delicate kind of white with little color pink, flowers in it. So I ordered some tulle, and it arrived. It's green. It's green. Oh my goodness, you guys. Here it is. It's too bright. It's too bright. I wanted it that really beautiful leaf color of a healthy plant, but this is just, it's just bright. So, and what's so funny is because I was doing a lot of research on making a tulle skirt, and I had found this lovely website. It's Frida Leopold, and she had this really nice tutorial on making these 3 different tulle skirts and how they were just very romantic and flowing, and they were really beautiful. Of course, hers weren't made out of green, bright lime green. But you know what? It's frocktails, and I'm just gonna wear it. I'm not gonna buy anything more, and I don't think I have anything in my stash. So I am going to be the Jolly Green Giant, or Kermit the Frog, or whatever. But I will make my dress out of this green tulle, and I will wear it loud and wear it proud, because when else in my life am I going to have an occasion to wear a tulle dress, much less a bright green tulle dress? And what's so wonderful about the sewing community is no one's going to say anything negative or mean. They're going to be all supportive, and that's what's so great about the online sewing community. So yeah, I'm 0 for 3 this week, but I will start drafting my dress or my skirt next week, and I'll give you an update hopefully next Tuesday on how it's going. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you guys will join me for my sewing journey, and you will hit the like and subscribe on your way out. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye guys.